To do a house with a more complicated roof, you should have already watched my previous video on how to take these panels individually, rotate them and move them, and put them flat so you can plot. So you should already know how to do that. But this video is intended for those of you that have a more complicated roof type of system. When you have maybe these two types of roofs, it's going to get a little bit more complicated to split it. So what I'm going to share with you is just going to hopefully make it a little bit easier, specifically with these roofs. If they're gabled or hipped, with a lot of geometry on these roofs, you should be able to navigate through this a little bit easier. So the way I'm going to do it is, in my case, you're going to have to, but I'm just going to make a copy of the roof. That way, if I mess it up, I can go back to this one. You shouldn't have to make a copy, but I'm gonna make a copy, and on this one, I'm going to separate the roof. So these are the two roofs that I need to make the little panels for, so that we can plot them to start building the gingerbread house. So the thing that I'm going to do here is, instead of splitting it in 3D, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to explode the roof. I'm going to explode this one. And by exploding it, what happens is that it becomes hollow, and that it's just going to be individual panels. So it's like I can take the bottom of it out, and if you notice, it's kind of like hollow from the inside. So essentially, really the only thing that we need from this is just these top panels. That's really the only things that we need. Everything else we really don't need anymore. That's after I exploded it, of course. So then this goes away. So this is really the only things that we need to make that pattern. And the same thing with this one. This one we can explode everything here, and really the only thing you need is this top panel and this one. That's, once again, the only thing you need. Everything else um, that's been exploded, you really don't need anymore. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete all that stuff, and then this is the only thing I need. And then everything else stays the same, because now that we have these individual panels, I'm going to go over there to do the 3D align command, select it, and then pick 3 points along the panel. It doesn't really matter which three, as long as they're on this flat panel here, 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 or even here. And then I'm going to take that to make it flat. So then I'll just pick geometric points, ortho on, so that way it just becomes flat. And then that's what I'm going to start printing, just like you did the walls on the past video. You'll still do that the same way, like you did on the past video, but this is more specifically for these roof panels. So I could do a 3D line, 3D align. And then once we have these panels in place, then we adjust them. Right now there's a visual style. I'm going to go back to 2D wireframe. So then once again, you're just going to put them on that sheet for plotting purposes. But notice how all that weird geometry that I was getting um, on the roofs gets a lot more simpler by exploding it, and then just simply putting the panels together and plotting. Okay. Hopefully this helps.